You slide out onto the ice. Before you can even react, your mother presses against you, keeping you close. You don't know it yet, but without her, you wouldn't last a day. Your skin is thin, stretched over muscle with no insulation. You shiver because you don't have the one thing that keeps the others warm, a blubber. Instead, your blood vessels are close to the surface, giving your skin an orange tint as they work overtime to keep you from freezing. It won't be like this forever. Every gulp of your mother's milk is packed with fat, and soon the cold won't be a problem. But right now, it is. You move forward, your flippers slipping on the ice. Your mother's tusks scrape against the frozen surface as she moves. They are huge and covered in scratches. Meanwhile, you don't have tusks at all. You won't even start growing them for another 2 years. Right now, they would just get in the way. Your mother shoves you off the edge of the ice. The water pulls you under. You sink too fast, kicking your flippers without control. You try to move, but your body doesn't know how. Your mother watches from above, just waiting for you to do something. If you can't figure this out, she won't save you. You struggle, your front flippers spreading wide, but it does nothing. The water drags you deeper. Then the panic sets in. Your instincts scream at you to move, but nothing is working. Then something changes. You push down harder, kicking with your back flippers. This time you stop sinking, and you rise. You burst through the surface, gasping for air. Your mother is still watching. She dives beneath you, circling and waiting to see what you do. You don't get a break. She nudges you from below, pushing you forward, and you kick again. The whole process is slow, but it works. For the next few weeks, you barely leave her side. You copy everything she does. You learn when to dive, when to breathe, and when to rest. Your muscles strengthen, and you start moving and swimming faster. Skip forward a bit, and you're 2 months old now. You stay close to your mother, drink her milk, and rest on the ice while the herd moves around you. Most of the time, nothing happens, but today is different. Your mother lifts her head. The others do the same. Something isn't right, and you can feel it. Then your mother lets out a deep, loud call, and everything changes. The herd reacts instantly. Walruses slide off the ice one after another, splashing into the water as fast as their heavy bodies allow. Your mother doesn't hesitate. She turns and pushes you forward, herding you toward the edge. Then you see it. A massive polar bear moving towards the herd. Its steps are slow and careful, its head low as it watches the calves that haven't made it to the water yet. It is looking for something small, something weak, something like you. You push forward as fast as you can, but your flippers keep slipping on the rough ice. Your mother has already disappeared into the water, but you are still stuck on the surface, your body dragging as you try to reach the edge. The bear picks up speed. It knows who it is chasing now, and it isn't stopping. You push harder, flippers scraping against the ice as the bear closes the gap behind you. Its paws pound against the surface, but just as it lunges forward, the ice disappears beneath you and you drop into the ocean. The water slams into you, and for a moment everything is silent. Then a loud splash fills the water. The bear jumped in. It's super fast, much faster than you expected. You try to escape, but you are slow and the bear is quickly catching up. Then something rushes past you. It's your mother. She crashes into the bear's side, forcing it away before it can reach you. The bear twists in the water, its large paws swinging toward her, but she has already turned, circling back around to cut off its path. You don't stop to watch. You keep swimming, pushing yourself forward with everything you have. The bear hesitates. It watches her for a few seconds, its dark eyes locked onto her, but then it turns away. It climbs back onto the ice and disappears into the distance. You stay close to your mother, trying to process what just happened. You realize that you need to be more careful, because next time you might not be so lucky. You are 3 years old, and things are starting to change. You are bigger now, and no longer need to stay at your mother's side all the time. The herd is always moving, and every walrus wants the best spot on the ice. The older bulls don't have to fight for space. Their size and long tusks do all the talking. But for the younger walruses, nothing is decided yet. You climb onto a floating piece of ice and settle in. It's a good spot, solid, thick, and just big enough to rest without being crushed by an adult. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the ice hold your weight. Then something nudges your side. You open your eyes and see another young walrus standing over you. He isn't much bigger than you, but the way he stands makes it clear. He wants the spot, and he isn't asking nicely. You don't move. He pushes harder, his body pressing into yours, trying to shove you off the ice. Your flippers spread wide, gripping the surface to stay in place. Then he swings his head forward, and his small, newly grown tusks scrape against your face. They don't do much damage, but that isn't the point. He's proving he's stronger. You swing back. Your tusks are just as small, but they are sharp enough to leave a mark. The moment they touch his skin, he shoves you again. Harder this time. You try to hold on, but your flippers slip. The ice disappears beneath you, and suddenly you are falling. You crash into the water, the cold shocking you for a second before your body adjusts. Above, the other walrus stands on the ice, staring down at you. You shake yourself off and swim to another part of the herd, pulling yourself up onto a different ice sheet. It isn't as good as the last one, but it will do. This time you lost, but you are still growing, and so are your tusks. Next time, things might be different. At 5 years old, the life in the herd is starting to feel normal. You've grown larger, nearly twice the size you were as a calf, and your tusks have finally started to take shape. Other young walruses respect you more, and pushing matches over ice space aren't as one-sided as they used to be, but size means nothing in the open ocean. The herd is swimming today, spread out across the water as the adults lead the way. It's peaceful at first, but then something changes, clicks. You don't know where they're coming from, but they are everywhere. The adults start swimming faster. The younger walruses follow without hesitation. Then, the first one disappears. It happens so fast. 1 second, a walrus is just ahead of you, swimming toward the herd. The next, it's gone. Then another vanishes. The ocean is no longer safe. Orcas are here. You push forward, flippers cutting through the water, trying to keep up. The clicks get louder, bouncing off everything around you. The orcas know exactly where you are. A dark shape rushes past. Then another. They slice through the water, circling, waiting. The herd is too big to attack head-on. They want to separate someone. They want you to panic. Waves crash ahead as the orcas work together, breaking apart the formation. You get caught in the current, dragged into open water, and you're alone. Moments later, a shadow looms beneath you. Then another. You kick hard, but it's too late. Then, something crashes into you from the side. It's another walrus, slamming its body into yours, pushing you toward the ice. You lunge forward, hauling yourself onto the ice just as the orca lunges too. Its jaws snap shut just behind you, missing by inches. Then it disappears, slipping back into the water as if it was never there. You stay on the ice, panting, heart pounding in your chest. Below, the orcas continue circling, waiting for another chance. Today they didn't get you, but next time you might not be so lucky. Skip forward a bit, and you're 8 years old, no longer small, no longer weak. You are still not as large as the adult males, but you are big enough to hold your own. Most predators don't even try anymore, but some still do. The herd is packed together on the ice, resting after a long swim. You are near the edge, lying among other young males, soaking in the sun. Everything is calm. Then, something moves. The adults react first, heads lift, bodies press closer together. You push yourself up, turning toward the movement, then you see it. A polar bear is creeping forward. It isn't big enough to take on a full-grown walrus. It wants something smaller, something it can drag away. The calves are in the center, protected by their mothers, but the bear is patient. It's waiting for a mistake, and it finds one. A young calf, resting too close to the edge. The bear moves faster. It only needs one lunge. But this time, it isn't the mother who reacts first. The herd surges forward all at once. The ground shakes beneath you as dozens of walruses turn toward the bear, moving as one. The closest male, twice your size, throws his weight forward, tusks swinging toward the predator. Others join him, their heavy bodies crashing into the ice. The bear hesitates. It tries to back away, but it is already too late. The largest males press in, surrounding it. The bear stumbles, stepping backward too quickly. Its paw slips, and it falls. The walruses don't stop. One of them swings his head, cutting deep into the bear's shoulder. Another slams into its ribs, sending it sliding across the surface. The bear scrambles to its feet, gasping for breath, and starts running. It disappears into the distance, dragging its injured leg behind it. You settle back down, pressing into the herd. The young walrus is safe, but this time, the predator was the one running for its life. At 10 years old, everything feels different. The deep bellows of bulls echo across the ice while the ground shakes beneath their massive bodies as they drag themselves forward. The air is thick with tension. The breeding season has begun. The dominant males move first. They are enormous with long tusks and skin covered in scars from years of battle. They take the best spots near the females without question. The younger bulls stand back, knowing they cannot compete. But you are not like them. You have waited long enough, and now instinct pulls you forward. A female rests near the edge of the group. Her tusks are shorter than the older cows, and her body is thick with blubber. She has not chosen a mate yet. You approach with slow and deliberate steps, letting her see you. She does not move away. That is when you hear the grunt behind you. Something heavy slams into your side and forces you to stumble. A young bull stands over you. His tusks are lowered, and his message is clear. Leave. You do not. He lunges first, but you see it coming. His tusks scrape your side, but the wound is shallow. You twist and drive your own tusks forward. You strike his shoulder and he flinches. That is all you need. You shove him back with all your strength and his flippers scramble for grip. The ice disappears beneath him. He crashes into the water and resurfaces moments later. He does not try to climb back up. He knows it's over. You turn back to the female. She is still watching, and this time, she does not move away. You are 15 years old now. You rest on the ice, body heavy from years of survival. The herd is calm, packed together in the afternoon sun, but something shifts. Dark fins cut through the water. The herd reacts. Calves disappear into the water. The largest bulls follow, pushing toward thicker ice. You move too, but not fast enough. The orcas are not chasing the young, not hunting the weak. They have chosen you. The ice beneath you tilts, a sudden wave crashing over the surface. The frozen platform cracks, shifting under your weight, and then it vanishes. You plunge into the ocean. The cold shocks your body, but you already know, this is not a chase. This is a game. The orcas don't strike. Not yet. They circle, moving fast, forcing you to turn, to waste energy, to struggle. One rushes past, its sleek body slicing through the water so close you feel the current pull you sideways. Another moves below, disappearing just as quickly. They could kill you now, but where's the fun in that? Then, the first hit comes. Not a bite, not a fatal strike, just a body slamming into yours, knocking the air from your lungs. You try to right yourself, but another force strikes from below, flipping you upside down. The world spins. You kick hard, but there is nothing to hit. They let you rise, let you catch a breath, just to rip it away again. One grabs your flipper, drags you down, then lets go, watching as you struggle back up. Another clamps onto your back, just for a second, before shoving you sideways like a toy. Again and again, they take turns, watching you fight, watching you panic, watching you tire. Then, finally, they are done playing. The largest orca moves first, ramming into your ribs with full force. Another grabs onto your side. More follow, swarming, dragging you deeper. The surface fades, the ice vanishes, and the last thing you feel is the weight of the ocean pulling you into the abyss. The orcas leave. They do not eat. They do not need to. The game is over, and they have already moved on to find something else to play with. The herd moves forward, the Arctic continues, and somewhere far away, another calf takes its first breath, never knowing the fight that waits ahead. Life as a walrus might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.